There's a great possibility, sadly, that there'll be more cases. So we had the restrictions eased around the 24th, 25th and 26th. So we're really only into a incubation period. An incubation period on average is about 5-6 days, but can be as long as 14 days. So we haven't gone far enough yet to make sure that we've caught all of the infections that possibly happened over the Christmas period. But then, of course, we had New Year's Eve, and so we're only 4 days into that. So we haven't really seen anything that's occurred because of New Year's Eve, if there is anything that will occur. So we still have to wait at least another week to potentially 10 days before we can then breathe a sigh of relief.
So a bit of time ahead. John Barilaro says the restrictions in place are enough, ruling out further lockdowns for parts of Sydney. Do you agree with that, given this uncertainty on that timeline?
I think it's too adventurous to say that there won't be or there isn't needed a lockdown. I think the most important thing that we do now is send a message to the community, which we have with mask use that's mandatory, is to also not gather. And one of the big problems is mass gatherings, as well as, of course, those casual social connections that we've seen in the bottle shop in Barella. And if we needed a lesson to be learned, that's it, that these things can happen. Then, of course, we've learned the lesson in Victoria about people sitting in a restaurant, not even at the same table as somebody. This is a highly infectious disease, and so by having mass gatherings where it's hot, even outside, it's hot to wear a mask. The humidity builds up around your face. You get fairly fed up with them, and you're likely to pull them underneath your chin. So even if you get people to wear a mask at the cricket, it's likely they'll want to have a rest from it even outside. So that has the potential for increasing the number again. And we've really got to get this right before the rollout of the vaccine. You don't want to have concurrent issues going on where you've got tens of thousands of people fronting up for a test, which is great, but then also hundreds of thousands of people needed to be vaccinated every day around the country. So we need to get this right, and we need to get it right in the next little while because we're going to be rolling out in March. So that's 2 months, and it sounds like a long time, except for it isn't, because it takes a long time to get over 100 cases down to zero for at least 14 to 28 days, knowing that you don't have a problem.
Given you say about the need to send the right message to the public, again with maintaining that they'll hold the test at the Sydney cricket grounds, the optics there aren't good. Does that just sort of, I guess, discourage residents in New South Wales from abiding by the rest of the rules?
It sends a mixed message. It's like, you have a choice of wearing a mask. You don't have a choice when you might be putting somebody's life at risk and you don't even know it because you're incubating it. But while you're incubating this disease, you're also potentially transmitting it. And then by saying, we want you to wear a mask all the time, please keep your distance, holding mass gatherings sends a very confusing message. And in an outbreak, sadly, you have to run it as an outbreak. You can't also try to run it as a business and, of course, joyous occasions like the cricket. So the best thing from an outbreak management perspective is to either hold it without anybody there, which might be a sad alternative, or postpone it.